at this point, your concluding remarks, but they can start off a little differently. As I said earlier, y'all have had the opportunity to be asked a lot of questions. But there's probably a question that you say, gosh, I just wish they asked me that. You probably, at the end of every debate, every discussion, said, just one more question. I wanted to be asked this. This is your chance to ask yourself a question, answer your question, and make your closing comments. You have up to 5 minutes, and we'll start with you, John.
Here's the question I think should be asked of anybody who wants to be in a leadership position, politics or outside of politics. Who were the most important teachers in your life? Because we are what we have learned, and you cannot overestimate the value of a powerful, good teacher. Beyond my parents, they taught me right from wrong. I've done wrong a number of times in my life, but I never had any doubt that I was wrong, and I had to straighten it out and make amends, because that's the way I was brought up. But beyond that, I'll tell you about 3 teachers. The first was Paul Hyde. In Salisbury, Maryland, we were all babysat on our block by Mama Hyde, who was a widow lady who lived at the end of the block. Her son, Paul Hyde, was a student teacher at the Salisbury State Teachers College across the street. And he took it upon himself to practice his teaching around the oilcloth covered table in his mother's kitchen with the children that she was dealing with. As a result of which I could read and write and do simple arithmetic before it was time for me to go to the 1st grade. So I skipped the 1st grade. He was a super teacher who later became a super principal and eventually the superintendent of education for Wycomico County. Teacher number 2, Dr. Carl A. Zopfi, Scoutmaster of Troop 35 in Baltimore, Maryland for 41 years. He graduated almost 250 Eagle Scouts. I'm proud to say I was one of the first of those. Principles he taught me in the middle of the woods as a 12-year-old scout still guided me when I went to present cases to the Supreme Court of the United States. 3rd teacher, Anna Gallagher. She was a librarian at one of the finest public libraries in the world, the Enoch Pratt in Baltimore. We went in as representatives of our various schools and she had us write book reviews. And she worked on us and made us go over it and over it and over it until we got it really right. And the book review I wrote was read by an executive of an advertising company, and I was called in and I got a summer job, which led to a career as a writer. Why? Because of Anna Gallagher. There are many other teachers in my life, but notice all the ones I named were not in school, because we get taught in personal relationships. We get taught in family relationships. School matters, but beyond school, and every one of you knows this, if you keep on learning for all of your life, you are better and better and better prepared for whatever life is going to dish out to you. But it all goes back to teachers. I have the deepest respect for good teachers, and I have the greatest contempt for unions that would keep bad teachers in schools or bad administrators in schools. Nothing substitutes for education in the long run. But that's the broad concept of education. Teachers, yes. Administrators, yes. Parents have to be involved, yes. But we also learn in everything we do. And I have done that. And I have scars all over my body from some of the mistakes I've made where I didn't learn it the first time, didn't learn it the second. Genius has been defined as never making the same mistake once. I don't qualify. Albert Einstein defined genius as becoming an adult without losing a child's sense of wonder. I'm still working on that one. But what I offer to you is what a long line of very fine, able people gave of themselves to me as teachers. And that, I think, is tremendously important.
Spence, what question?